Welcome to Ask a VC, where we put VCs in the hot seat. I'm here with Dr. Krishna Yeshwant, partner at Google Ventures. Welcome, Krishna.
Thanks.
Can I call you Krishna? Not
Please.
Dr. Krishna? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go into your bio because it is actually quite different from any other VC that we have in this studio. So you are a physician, a programmer, and an entrepreneur, and a VC. You've helped lead GV's investments in a number of health companies, including Flatiron Health, Foundation Medicine, and One Medical Group. I am a user of One Medical Group.
Thank you.
Prior to Google, you helped start an electronic data company, which was acquired by HP, and a network security company that was acquired by Symantec. So you're a programmer and a doctor. Like, how did you seem pretty young, like, how did you fit all of this in to?
I think I look younger than I'm actually,
Well,
am.
How did you arrive at GV, and sort of what's been the course of your career?
So I was always into programming, computer science. I think it's one of the most interesting technologies that we have around the ability to think about something and create it. I just love that process. So I continue to feel connected to the engineering world. For me, as I was in those companies on the tech side, I just came to the realization that I really wanted to do something that had more of a direct impact with people. And so spent a lot of time looking at a bunch of different areas. I thought healthcare was really interesting, and found a bunch of labs and things that were doing, places that were doing interesting things over in Boston. And started doing research. I tried every possible route to not become a doctor because it just seemed like it would be so long and painful and difficult. But I just really liked the patient care part of it. And once
you practice internal medicine.
I do internal medicine. I do, yeah, over at
yeah.
Brigham and Women's Hospital, it's one of the Harvard teaching hospitals.
Right.
And once I realized I really like patient care, then you kind of need to do the MD. Harvard had this combined MD-MBA program, which I thought was actually incredibly helpful to kind of think about, how engineering, medicine kind of fit together, and it's kind of around that time that the whole healthcare industry seemed to be starting to change, and so that's why I think it's interesting to be in the venture role now. There's just so many opportunities coming up, both on the biotech side as well as on the care delivery side.
Yeah, so I want to go into that because the hot topic these days is wearables, and the Fitbit or the the Jawbone or whatever it is that you can put on your wrist, or the watch, to track your the different health signs. But I want to hear, what are the opportunities to help people and affect lives beyond just the wearable?
Yeah, so I think there's like two really interesting segments to the market when you think about who actually uses these sorts of devices and how the industry is going to evolve. There's all the people who we interact with on a day-to-day basis who have Fitbits and who have Ups and Nike fuel bands and whatnot. And I think that's actually the most exciting part of the market because it's rapidly developing. I think a lot of stuff is going to move into the phone. We'll see what comes out with these watches. I think the wearable space is just at the very beginning of what it's going to look like. I think you'll see a lot of things move into more organic sorts of modalities. So right now we have things that are hard that we fit in our pocket.
What are you wearing?
This is just a watch that I
like. Not a wearable. Okay.
But I got the watch because it's really clear that there's something interesting about that form factor.
Right. And Apple's rumored to have their sort of smartwatch.
Right.
What can be done? I mean, when it comes to like beyond just counting calories and tracking your body temperature, what are some of the things in the medical world that can be done with a smartwatch?
Yeah, I think you have to be thinking about things in the blood. Electrolytes, sodium, potassium, creatinine. These are things that doctors think a lot about. We have not been able to follow these sorts of things as regularly as we would like. So I think there's opportunities to do things, with more medical sorts of data beyond temperature, heart rate, movement. I think there's also an opportunity for the more complex medical patients, and we don't usually think about those people. The people who come to my clinic are often they don't have a lot of money. They have lots of complex medical conditions. Most of them don't have smartphones and iPhones. But when you look at healthcare costs, that's where almost all of our country's healthcare costs are. It's in those patients.
Right.
And so when you think of the
you bring up that issue, and the first thing that comes to my mind is one of your portfolio companies, Flatiron Health. I mean, they're using technology to try and help the diagnostic and sharing of information around cancer, right?
Yep.
Is it a specific type of cancer that they're working on? Or?
They work across all types of cancer, and the idea there is to pull information from the doctor's office and try and just organize it. In the tech world, we're just so comfortable slicing and dicing information so rapidly. In the healthcare world, you'd be surprised at how little data we actually are able to use to help guide practice of medicine. Bringing analytics to the care delivery space, bringing analytics to the pharma and the insurance world. There's just not a lot of data, and we're seeing a lot of patients. We're just not very intelligent about how we use that information.
Yeah, I mean, and how game-changing is that going to be for prolonging our life? Google, of course, launched its own sort of prolonging life venture with Calico, and do you really feel that some of these diagnostic type of data startups are going to be able to prolong life? Well,
biology is becoming digital. We see all of this work happening in the sequencing space. We see all this work happening in other areas of laboratory medicine. And that's one of the reasons that Google Ventures is so interested in healthcare and life sciences, is that we're moving into a world where it's not just cells. It's actually being able to understand what's happening inside of those cells. And so as we move into that world and have a stronger ability to apply all of the work that we've done on the computational side of the world and be able to apply it to the complexity of biology, I think we're going to see not just incremental sorts of benefits, interesting products. I think we'll see really transformative stuff coming. And I don't think it's 10 years, 20 years away. I think it's 3, 4, 5 years away. So again, from a venture perspective, that means around now is the time we want to start really getting active in this space.
I'm also curious, from the entrepreneurial angle, are you seeing more people in the medical world, more doctors, more nurses, more scientists, start thinking more thoughtfully about how technology could help a certain issue and think about the entrepreneurial side of things? Because my sense is that some of these advancements in technology are going to come from minds that understand it the best.
Totally. I think that's exactly right. And I think one of the big structural issues we've seen as we've looked for companies in this space is you see a lot of IT people, people from the best companies around the valley who really want to do something in healthcare, but have not actually been in a hospital. They don't see patients. They don't know kind of what the complexities are. I think there's great things like Fitbit and Up. I mean, that's a great place for people to make an impact now. But the vast majority of healthcare is happening someplace else, and a lot of tech folks don't see that. You have a lot of physicians who, to your point, are starting to get into the technology side, but they don't know how to program. They kind of know what modern technology can do, but they've never run an agile, technology development process. So
right.
It's everything happens slower. It happens, and we obviously have regulatory and privacy issues that we need to do exceptionally with. And so those sorts of things have traditionally been a friction point. But I think we're entering a point in the technology market where the cloud systems, the mobile systems, they're being built now in a way that are built for enterprise and increasingly built for in a way that you can use them in healthcare. So I think there's this time that's happening right around now where technologists and physicians can really do a lot when they, if we can get them to sit at the same table.
Talking about some of those guidelines, I want to see what your views are on the FDA issued their guidelines for mobile health apps, which is a huge market. I mean, not just beyond wearables, but nutrition. And for example, we had this company on stage at TechCrunch Disrupt that, had an iPhone app with a device that, took a picture of your inner ear, and so what do you think about the guidelines that were issued, and do you think that this is going to be a good thing for startups or a barrier? I
think generally it's a good thing. The FDA, a lot of people look at the FDA and think that it's just this huge problem in the industry. I'd urge people to take a second look. Over the course of the past couple of years, and maybe even past 3-4 years, they've really taken a much more aggressive stance towards trying to get treatments to patients, faster. So I find that this regulatory guideline, I think it's the right direction. I think there's clearly more to be done there, but at least it provides some clarity for people who are working in the space in a way that wasn't really there even even a few months ago. So I think it's moving in the right direction. Even in the biotech space, I think they're really trying to change the way people look at the FDA and trying to make things easier to get through, especially if you have something transformative. I think it's still going to be difficult to get an incremental innovation through the FDA. But when you have transformative things happening, when you see technologies really make an impact in patients' lives, I think I've personally seen them move a lot faster than I remember them doing a little while ago.
Well, that's good news for startups, right?
I agree. Yeah.
Doctor, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course, it's a pleasure. Thank you.